All right, in this video we're gonna go over how to make things animate. Um, so what we're gonna go over first is just how to make animation clips, and then what we'll do from there is how to work with the animation, the animator, which is the thing that controls which animation clip is playing. So first things first, let's say I want to make this cube animate. So excuse me, I will want to open up the animation menu, and I'm going to drop this down at the bottom. So as it kind of says here, to begin animating, create an animator and an animation clip. So I'll click create. So if you've never animated anything at all, you start here. Now we're going to make this under the assumption that when we enter into the scene, our cube is not doing anything, and then something happens to make it start moving. So if that is the case, the first animation you will want to make is the idle animation. So cube idle. If your object is just going to constantly be animating when you are in the scene, then you can just make an animation clip of whatever it's going to be doing, but we want it to not do anything first and then do something. So we want to make the idle first. So I'll click save. Now, when I create this clip, I'm going to show you what it does. So this is the animation clip. This is the animator that is controlling which clip is playing. We'll get into that in the next video. So the animation clip here. When we are animating, we select our cube. Notice how it activates this window. And then we are going to add the property that our cube will be doing. So in the idle animation, nothing is happening. So we actually don't have to do anything here. Idle animation is just blank. What we'll do is we want to make a second clip. So I'm going to create a new clip. And this is going to be the cube spinning animation clip. So I'll click save. Now in this little drop down, you'll notice I have two. So cube spinning. Okay, so we have two. We have one that's not doing anything and one where we want it to spin. So we will add a property, and what this is which property on our cube do we want to animate? Do we want to animate the transform, one of the position, rotation, or scale, something on the renderer, like the color, right? Or something here. We can animate all of these things. So under transform, if we drop this down, we can, if I want it to spin, I'm going to choose rotation, so click the little plus next to rotation. And we have this very fun little animation editor. So here are keyframes. This is the start and the end. You can zoom in and out of your timeline by using your mouse scroll wheel, so you can kind of show more or less time. And so maybe I want to make one that is 1 second long. I can kind of drag in this if I want to change it. And I can drop down and say, okay, well, which property do I want to be animating? Well, maybe I want to animate the Y rotation. So I can either come in here and type 180 and kind of it'll automatically set a keyframe when I do that. So it spins to 180 and then it spins back. But if I don't know the exact angles, I can actually come in here and maybe I want to set a different value here, 45. I can just go into the rotation tool, rotate my cube, and then click this little button here that says add keyframe. And what it does is it will add a keyframe at wherever your object currently is. So there we go. So I've made, I don't think I want to keep the keyframe, but so if you want to delete a keyframe, you just hit the delete key. And then, so if here it goes to 180, and then at the end, maybe I want it to go to 360, so it does like a complete spin. Now if I hit play, we see that it is spinning. Now notice how it kind of speeds up and then slows back down at the end. It kind of comes to a stop. Maybe I want it to just kind of spin at the same rate the entire time. Well, if I want to do that, then what I would do is I would go into the curves menu. So dope sheet is the keyframes, curves is the animation curves. So I just hit the F key to kind of frame my scene here. You can zoom in and out with your mouse wheel. And what we want to do here is basically we can come in and we can highlight or drag a little box around a keyframe and see these little tangent arrows. Well, what I could do is drag them so that these are all kind of pointing in a straight line. And what that means is this line is basically indicating the speed at which we are rotating. So if it is moving at a constant rate, that means we are spinning at a constant rate. If, like it was before, the tangent, so right now down here this is flat, that means it's not moving at all. The slope of this down here is 0, and then the slope becomes steeper. So the steeper the slope, the faster it's spinning. So you can tell the rate at which it's spinning by how steep the slope is. So you can, if that makes sense to you, then you can kind of come in here and you can play with it. So you can do some kind of crazy stuff with these tangent lines. So here we have our animation. So if I hit play now, notice that it is spinning at a constant rate. Okay, so I've made my animation, and what I want to do next is hook this up in my animator.